I got some bad news. Guess we forgot to unmute everything because of the issue.
Seriously?
Yep.
So no one just heard any of what we just said?
No!
Okay, then.
Right.
Hi, everybody!
Hi, everyone!
I'm sorry. When it reset, it didn't have the audio
Be what it be.
unmuted. So
How did you... Did someone message you to tell you that, or
No,
did you
I
just
just
realize
looked down
Okay, alright.
at my pity.
God,
So I'll
this is
restart now.
fantastic.
I'll restart now.
Welcome to Checkpoint.
Hello, everyone. Checkers and pleasers alike. Welcome to our show, Checkpoint, the show where we discuss and discern the current events of the most recent episode of Check Please. Today we are discussing Check Please episode 57 and Check Please 2022 Halloween special, The Labyrinth. I want to kill myself. My name's Keni. I'm your fortunate host. That's Foaly, my co-host, hungry for fleshed out answers. Nom nom nom. Xeno, our swamp witch swarm monger.
I have nothing to say.
Beardy, our beloved GM.
Hi.
And Scurry, our rock hard holy man. I want to die.
No, it's all good. It happens.
We did it.
There.
For those of you like checking in on YouTube, I've made a terrible audio mistake, and I have to restart everything. So that's why we did a really quick intro. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna start playing New Vegas again. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Xeno.
I was getting into Deus Ex. I can go back to that.
Yeah.
So where are we going to start this off?
Yeah, so Curlo was...
Curly gets hit by a rock in the beginning because we were talking to the forgers, and then
And now everyone's just shitting on Mellifera.
there
It's
was
just
in-person
not
shitting
fair.
on Mellifera just a second ago, but it's fine. Anyways,
and
we had
Kenny
a
gave
glimpse.
spoilers to something that is going to be happening in the future. It was really exciting, you guys.
We had a glimpse of the Forgers from Snake Eyes. If you're not familiar with the Forgers, you should check out Snake Eyes. You should catch up.
And the wiki.
And on the wiki, of course, as well. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep talking and vamping while Kenny gets control of
So,
himself.
the Forgers are kind of an interesting group. They're very much like the main antagonists of Snake Eyes so far.
Well,
And
they're
they're
responsible for...
They're an interesting
sorry, go
cult that worship Anvil, and this is kind of how they get their start. That's
we
fun,
fucked
right?
up.
They're still nice at this point, except they're
oh,
not.
they're still technically nice in Snake Eyes. So here's the thing. We are of the I'm just going to go into Snake Eyes really quick. The Snake Eyes crew is...
You got to sing the theme first. If you're gonna go into Snake Eyes, we have to have the theme song for Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes. Okay, good.
Snake
did
Eater! Snake Eyes! Yeah!
All right, continue.
I don't think Screwy actually knows what the intro
It's
is for
fine.
Snake Eyes. Anyways,
enough.
so
I'm waiting for it all to get dumped onto YouTube so I can just binge that shit.
that's true. Life, check please, gets in the way.
Oh, dear.
So, the Snake Eyes crew is a very small amount of people. These are 5 people who are getting bothered by the Forgers. Overall, in my experience, they seem to, do mostly good. And it really sucks because it's like, damn, but you keep picking on my children, so I can't let this slide. You have to be stopped only for our sake. It's super selfish.
They have very specific goals, and it involves fucking with the Snake Eyes party.
Very specific.
Wow.
But everybody else, they're super chill with, and they're trying to make the world a better place.
And they just want to fuck with this one group.
They have very
They
specific
need
requests.
to.
They need to. They have very specific needs that only the Snake Eyes crew can give them, and they're not willing to negotiate.
It's fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
because it's very much needs of the many versus needs of the few.
and the Snake
Snake Eyes
crew,
are the few.
Yeah, and the Snake Eyes crew is like, nah, ain't a part of that shit.
So basically, the needs of the few. It is reluctantly needs of the few, and the few is like, but no.
And this is why you shouldn't worship anything but the main pantheon of gods, not godlings, not primal beings / elder gods. No, they're not to be trusted.
That's fair. And certainly no other beings that we haven't even introduced yet that are going to be coming into season 3.
Oh shit.
Just as long as they're not giant spiders.
I agree.
That's true.
No more
They are
giant spiders.
Or giant
What if it's a
intestinal
giant-
parasites.
What if it's a giant badger?
Please no.
I don't think that anybody is going to be worshiping that which hungers in the future. At least, I mean, unless you all want to have like characters to do specifically, but like, I
No.
can't imagine anybody making a character that's going to be an
I mean-
actual like worshiper of that which hungers.
Even before that which hungers, like I had Moo just be a non-part.
Yeah, non-religious. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it could be fun doing
Agnostic.
A trial that does it.
Yeah, it could be.
I think
I would
you
find
can
it
maybe
fascinating to-
consider them agnostic, but more as it's just not even in their viewpoint. Moo is a very special character in that sense.
Yeah.
Because like atheists is you believe that there is no is atheist you or don't believe in you don't like
No.
the
No,
religion.
No
it doesn't
atheism.
exist. There's no
Gods.
existence for atheism.
Have to be a really special kind of conspiracy theorist in the world of Adrian to
Yeah.
be an atheist.
Yeah,
when,
like
like,
atheism might exist in Adrian, but it's really unlikely because the gods are pretty active. I would say that it's more like the atheists are those that believe that the gods aren't worthy of worship. It's probably what was more likely to be what would be considered an atheist in that setting.
Which
Um,
doesn't.
Or
in-
in a
questioning
way-
their power. Something.
Question their power and questioning their being, whether they are worthy of worship or deserve it, would be more along the lines of what I would consider more similar to an atheist. But
So-
no, very few people doubt they exist, like period, full stop, because they are actively doing shit all the time.
It's like they're right there.
yeah,
it's
like
a-
they
it's a
talk
fix.
to people.
It's all smoke and mirrors and fishing wire. It's all
Right,
bullshit.
like
behind the curtain.
it would be a very weird character to be a like literal atheist.
I so want to play one now.
Like, don't get me wrong,
So
that
much
would be that would be fun and a real challenge. Like, nah, man, nah, fam, that's all bullshit.
Yeah,
Because you think
especially if
of like
they're in a party with like a divine caster.
you think of like the raving like religious zealot like handing out that just really being disgustingly belligerent about the whole thing in reality, and I'm just picturing that in Adrian only being the exact opposite and being like, there is no God, repent for there is no God. It's just really kind
Oh,
of entertaining.
I totally agree with you, except there is one.
Hey Pringle, how you doing?
There's only one.
Yeah,
Everyone
Pringle, how you doing?
says like other names, but I know they're just like mishearing it, and we all know it's Mephistopheles. That's it.
I mean, sure, if you want that.
I am, yeah, but anyway, so we see these Anvilites trying to ask
Forgers.
Riz for the forgers, yes, thank you.
Anvilians.
Asking Anvilians.
Evangelion?
We're done.
Nice.
You landed it. It was a rocky one, but you got it, Screwy.
So the Anvilsifers try to get Riz to reach out to contact their god, and unfortunately,
I
he
say
reaches
yes.
back. Yeah,
I don't know if
unfortunately,
he
Riz says
reaches
yes.
back, but more is just like, ooh, yummy. Look at that magic you got there. I want that.
Yeah, and you're not exactly sure what happened, but yeah, definitely drank a little bit more power than expected.
I, as a player, am just mad that I didn't get to talk to Anvil again. He's one of my favorite of the 8. I miss that
Sorry.
motherfucker.
Someday.
It's funny because I have to face him in Snake Eyes, but like as Soul, I'm like, oh, this is my best friend in the 8.
So no chat with Anvil and the creation of some sort of horrific artifact or some unknown artifact that I'm sure will not come back to bite anyone in the ass in future. Not at all.
That's just the Snake Eyes crew.
Yeah.
They're not important. I mean, yeah,
Of course
they
not.
are.
They're
I
just
like
5 kids.
them. Bless them.
With very little money.
Oh my god,
We are
we're so
causing a
poor.
lot of problems for people in the future, aren't we?
That's the future
and
people's
more
problem.
than no kidding.
No, I forget. I don't know what point of Snake Eyes has been released and stuff.
Up to episode 13.
I don't
12?
know what that goes
Um,
into. But does it go into the artifact at all?
No.
Okay.
Snake Eyes later, in unreleased episodes, I know what the item is.
Yeah. And I know some, but I don't want to talk about it. It's not released. So
Yeah, so we're nowhere
That's
close to getting that artifact. I don't even know if I can call it an artifact. It's just an item
I'm
to
mostly
me.
confused on how it was described there in comparison to here. Just because I think it was said like, "Oh, that's an enemy." It's like something from an enemy. It's like, but you didn't do anything.
Yeah, they did
Right.
describe Riz as the enemy.
Right, but it's also possible that just over time, it was just like some dusty artifact, and they just got the description wrong.
I did throw it down angrily.
Yeah, and like the story just kind of just took a life of its own. And every time they retold it, it got more and more aggressive.
Yeah, they
until-
killed everyone there.
Yeah, all of those people died.
I love
This
it.
is like, yeah, it's like the story they tell to like new members of their order
yeah,
to scare them.
I dig
that's
that.
adorable. It's all
Look out for
hazing.
fortune tellers.
So that shit happens. Riz storms off, and Vera and Petravian. Am I remembering that correctly? Yes, have a little chat as everyone wanders back to the Vardo.
That's right, because I wanted to make sure that I said it within earshot. Maybe they aren't praying hard enough.
What a bitch.
Yeah.
Sassy.
I love that.
Oh, yeah, then we were talking about how worship and actions work, which is more my and Vera's interpretation on it. Because I don't know, Beardy, if I do something in the name of a god, does that help the god? Other than, like, obviously, like, getting people to join, as much as, let's say, praying to them or giving them worship in some way?
It depends on the god. Most of them are like action based, sure. So like, if you do something devoted to them, that gives them faith. Yeah.
You know,
That fills their faith mana.
Whether you're, say, building a temple and then consecrating it for a specific god, or whether you are like swearing an oath to a god to go off and complete a quest, and then you complete that quest, like that counts too.
Yeah.
Like anything you're doing like for or in the name of or in the honor or glory of whatever, blah blah blah, anything like that is going to reflect back positively on them
Does it
in a
have
spiritual sense.
to be something that kind of grand, or can it be this god has inspired me to, be kind, so I'm going to make sure that I make a conscious effort every day to do something particularly kind?
It's very
you know?
Prinnia.
Right. As long as the idea is that you have made an oath, whether it's a private oath or public oath, it doesn't matter. But as long as you have made a covenant with your god to complete some sort of action or change your behavior in some way, and then you follow through with it, yeah, it strengthens them slightly.
yeah, because I had no idea whether or not that did anything at all. Because all I knew was that worship does stuff. So I didn't know if
Yeah.
actual actions did
Yep.
jack.
Yeah, so like if you have like say a paladin order and they go on like a crusade, that if they're that all adds, like that all counts.
Like to wipe out the Maleferans, for instance?
Yeah,
They're like Eden paladins?
yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Oh, this gonna be fun.
I thought that was kind of part of what was coming up in the short campaign, perhaps. Who knows?
Every situation's going to be more complex than history derives it.
Ah,
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that response. It's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
I really am. Yeah. Oh, and I got the their pamphlet, their book
That's right.
to
Yeah. You got
to go read through it.
You got to read through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in the symbol you described, Beardy. Is very different than what we later created for the Forgers. So I'm wondering if this is like the original symbol and then it eventually changed to an anvil, or if that was your weird way of explaining what the anvil symbol looked like.
That was probably my weird way of explaining what the anvil symbol looked like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Did not.
This is also like very much proto forgers, right? This is
True.
the very early. So they probably don't even have like their shit together to have a proper holy symbol.
Mhm.
So it's unlikely to be the same one that the people saw in Snake Eyes.
So-
Like it has changed and developed.
Makes sense.
So you're saying that they already have the symbol, but this one maybe is a bad forgery?
Ah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
Good answer. Good answer. Survey says
bravo.
100%.
beautiful.
Grumble. I hate that I like that so much. Well done.
Well done.
Anyway,
Grr.
So, we decide we're gonna go up the fucking mountain, and we have to put the horses away. And during that time period, Riz pulls Vera aside away from the party to share some thoughts and concerns. Narc session 3, let's go.
Hell yeah. This is
Fucking
part
A,
3
man.
of our next section.
Ah,
Gonna
Petravian is
narc
getting
on
it
the
in the neck.
gardener, and then with Vera.
Have you only told on...
He makes
Petravian.
bad
Yeah,
decisions.
I think so.
Oh, wait, was Narc Session 1 where you... Was that the cloak one?
yeah.
Might have been
Okay.
when I was
Yeah.
narking on
Narc
Carla.
session 1 was
Okay.
Oh, that was way long ago. I thought you meant Narc sessions just specific to Petravian.
No, I think it's only been twice.
It's only been
Like
twice so
big
far.
ones. Two big ones. Cause they've just been
The
passive aggressive
teacher.
with their things beforehand, where they would like change his room and stuff based on his actions. Now they're trying to be more of a proactive player in their team.
By telling the police.
God, they're telling the teacher on me.
cab.
Christ.
So, I mean, question, like, do you not hear that Petravian talks to Vera like a dog sometimes?
You say it, and now I can't not hear it. And that
Leave
makes
it.
me feel like an asshole.
Leave it. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Heal.
Yeah.
Leave it.
As you were, as you were,
Stay.
as you were.
Yep. Yeah, no, yeah.
And I'm-
Asshole, apparently.
I'm curious what Vera took from that conversation, because she seemed very quiet about it, I guess. She wasn't very defensive, which I appreciated, because I was
Well-
like, this could go very badly.
I'm sure it bothers them, but it... Like I said, Vera's just so attached to this fantasy of this perfect family.
Oh, it's unhealthy. Shit.
Mm.
I'm part of the
Noticing
unhealthy
that
problem.
now.
So
Oh, fuck.
so they put things... It takes a lot for it to actually come into fruition, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel icky
You
now.
did a bad thing.
Thanks, Riz.
I
I'm
mean, at
only
least
trying to
Riz-
build you into a better person.
At least this has been brought to your
Thanks.
attention now, Screwy, and
Oh.
head
his
pats
face
or
froze.
offering of treats won't become a thing, because that might be pushing it too far. That might be a situation where Vera finally snaps. I don't know. Well done on leaving for a sting behind. Good job. That wouldn't have ended well. Damn it! Why did you have to say something? I would have liked to have seen how that ended. Petravian would have lost a limb again.
No.
Maybe.
I mean, like, I fully anticipate Screwy to forget this in a couple of weeks. So
Oh, that's cold.
no, that's him playing his character, because his character doesn't know.
Fair enough.
So. I
But
mean,
then you're
as
not
far-
wrong. To be fair, you're not wrong.
Yeah. I'm
You're not wrong.
You tend to do this thing where you like, I have this information, I will fix it right away. But then you will not stick to that path, and you will go back to whatever you were doing. So I'm fully aware of your patterning. So I think I'm pretty sure, based on the path that I've foreseen as your tactician. But in other news,
But in other news, yeah, Petravian can't climb up a hill worth shit.
I have a question. What was the point of those con saves?
See what would happen.
What would have happened if we got like anything
A
else. Like
nat
Petravian
1
had like
or-
a 6.
Yeah, just to see if you'd be out of breath.
Oh.
It was
Okay.
purely for flavor.
I like the
Okay.
acting there, Scurry. You were doing a
was
really
good.
good job there. That was impressive.
And it's very funny that the like lower constitution characters are all like, "You whiny little bitch."
Yeah, I kind of dig the fact that Curler, who like weighs 95 pounds soaking wet, was just completely outpacing you.
Yeah. It's not lost on him either. It's like, fuck. And no, but then he's like, leave the armor, and he Petravian has a real world situation that has happened where he was without his armor, and he will not let that shit happen again.
What's the worst that could happen? What, you get killed again? You get turned into bees again? That's a fucking day that ends in Y for you.
Pulled head and spine out of body.
That didn't actually happen. You just turned into bees.
True.
Ish
became
never
bees.
killed you.
Okay, see, I have this memory where it as the head was coming out, it was turning.
No,
into
you
bees,
just turned into
basically.
bees. You didn't feel the excruciating pain of your head getting ripped off, but you did feel the pain of turning into bees.
If I recall, it was just about to happen, and then you turned into bees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah.
You never
okay.
died then.
it's true. Ish didn't kill you.
Wait, I only died once. I thought I've died twice.
You
We
have.
can fix that.
Pretty sure.
For some reason, I thought I've died twice.
See,
now.
that was my theory too, but I think it might only be once.
I mean, I think it was because he would have died.
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably.
Yeah, maybe.
You would have definitely died had Vera not saved you. Isn't she
Yes.
great?
Phenomenal.
I guess we could also do the one where you insisted on Vera and Petravian non-canon fighting in an arena.
That's true. She did whip
We
your
could
ass.
we could add like 3 deaths onto there.
Fuck
When did
no,
that
that
happen?
that I fully accept
So when Screwy
as
first
an alternate timeline.
built Petravian, for those who don't know, he had Petravian as a cleric fighter, which is very confusing to the rest of us because that's a paladin.
See, this was
Mostly.
my first foray into. This was
Not
my
being
first.
a halfling?
Well, no, the only other character at the time I had was Marcus.
halfling.
With a half.
We love you,
Was
Scurry. We love you.
a
We love you.
halfling cleric. Was that cleric, and I'm like, but I like all these things for this, and I didn't listen, which seems to be a pattern on my part.
Technically, it was a shadow kind of thing in a halfling suit.
That's true. You're a weird,
Yeah.
weird, scary, soul-sucking monster
Mm-hmm.
in a meat skin.
Oh my god, I hear a halfling.
Yeah.
Right
Marcus?
Okay. I'm not saying I didn't see it. In my head, yes, he does kind of look like Marcus. In my head.
Oh no.
And
Oh my.
I didn't see it for a long while. And then I saw an old picture of Marcus. I'm like, fuck. Anyway, yeah, no. Petravian 1.0 was a failure. Folks, listen to your DM.
I agree. Always listen to Beardy, who was in very deep contemplation a second ago.
Yeah.
You okay?
I'll be all right. Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Don't worry about it.
Oh God.
No, I don't like this.
So anyway,
That's concerning.
Anyways,
I go-
Petravian's the paladin. This shit got remade pretty much.
Yeah.
Ground
Yeah.
up at some
it
point.
was something funny. I feel like we may have told this story before, but I'll tell it again. Scurry was like, "Hey, I want to play this character. It's going to be a fighter cleric," and I'm like, "Cool. Do you want to play a paladin?" He's like, "No, I want to be a fighter cleric." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then he's like, we make the character together, and then he's like, "Hey, could I have an ability where I like use my charges of like channel energy to like attack someone in melee, and I'm like, so like a smite? And he's like, what is that? I'm like, well, it's what paladins have. And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. So we do like a test. Yeah,
It didn't go well.
Petravian became a paladin pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 sessions. Like after he was like, "Watch this awesome build, Xeno. I want to fight your character," and Xeno's like,
Yeah, I talked a lot of
You tried to diplomacy me down from flying above you.
"Yeah, that was a choice."
To be fair,
Wow.
also, I still don't think I still am grossly outmatched by Vera's.
Vera's OP in a lot of senses.
Very much so.
Like,
I would not want
yeah.
to fight her.
It's because we allowed her to have a diminutive swarm shape.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I have is now the gauntlet things that would be even do anything to that particular aspect.
So you did get them to kill Vera.
Of course you did.
I didn't know. I did not.
Wow. J'accuse indeed.
J'accuse!
Mon petit fromage. Oh, shame on you.
My little cheese?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Why are we calling him your little cheese?
No particular reason. It's a reference. Anyway.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, Petravian,
Riken
you
would fight
murderer.
Vera.
And Riken, you would
Hell yeah.
lose.
There's only one member of this party who's allowed to kill their sibling, and I already did. So no killing Vera, Petravian.
Hey, I don't know if I have any siblings.
My eyes instantly go to Beardy to see if I can read, but no, that fucking DM poker face is so good.
Sometimes he does over-exaggerated faces so that you get off his trail, too.
That's impressive.
Reasons I
That's
won't
some-
be able to DM.
4D chess right there.
Yeah, that's it. It's certainly not the ADD making me lose concentration and not hear what you said. Certainly, it's never happened.
Never happened.
Never.
We don't have to repeat ourselves ever once.
Ever. It certainly has
Oh,
nothing to do with the
dear.
fact that after you said Le Petit Fromage, I kept thinking about how, oh man, I should go grab some baby bells out of my fridge.
Jesus Christ, Beardy.
And now I'm thinking about eating cheese. That certainly has nothing to do with my face.
What's Vera's AC? Vera's AC doesn't matter when she's a swarm.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
shit don't matter. You can hit it. You can. Yeah, unless you got.
I can whip it, I can lick it.
Unless
I
you
mean-
got energy damage, you're not doing anything.
Well, that's the
to it
thing
with
is
a weapon.
that Riken's swashbuckler or whatever had a bunch
That's
of like
true.
energy damage on
The sword. The
sword-
four,
and the
the four
swords.
seasons.
Mm,
Schwartz.
this one.
So,
I want to
anyway,
have a sword.
we go up the mountain, and we
Yep.
find a nice little temple-y
Pavilion.
type building,
Yeah, a
shrine,
little shrine.
thingy, and we
Pinky
go
green.
inside and we meditate. Or
We start
all of
our
us do it.
wayism.
I also scared
Yes.
Risen with bees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was ready to jump off that fucking cliff. I fucking
Yeah,
hate
Risen
bees.
had a little bit of trouble with meditating. Was it just the bees, or
Yeah, it's just bees.
in general,
It's just
they-
insects and bees. Riz is not okay with them.
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
they went next to
swarms are-
Jiro.
I don't mind bees.
Well, that was after I
like it.
tried to meditate and it didn't work because I rolled real bad. But eventually I got there.
Mhm.
And apparently
Then we
Jiro
know.
didn't need to. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, Jiro wasn't in there, huh? Weird,
Yeah.
right?
That was weird.
Yeah.
What's up
Hmm.
with that?
I'm just gonna take the Emperor's word, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So we start our meditation, and we start out with Petravian, kind of sitting at this cool little garden area. Very.
Well, there was a little bit before that. We were all in the Vardo.
In the Vardo.
oh,
and
that's
we
right.
get spoken to with the voice, and the voice is kind of asking what it was that we were seeking. We weren't really getting much communication happening between us and this voice.
Mhm.
And then we all split up and went to our little rooms. And
Well, I tried to go to
yeah.
my room to have to ask the
right.
questions in private, but
Yeah,
I
you were
just
being an
went
antisocial little b. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You can
I'm
say
kidding.
bitch.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Also
Wow.
legal.
Yes, Petravian went to their room, stormed off stamped their feet,
Oh no, he did not storm up.
He
It was
was
just
very
like
chill
I'm
about
a
it.
said, "How dare you? You're not my real dad." Slammed the door.
I know I'm not your real
Ah.
dad, but I'm better than your real dad because he's dead.
Oh.
Shit, son.
Wow.
I mean,
Anyway,
Petravian's
going with
parents
the
are
dead
dead.
dag insult. Wow.
Yeah.
Dead as hell.
What kind
I
of
mean,
shoes
metal.
he's wearing
That's
in those
fucking metal.
caskets?
In fairness, Petravian's mum is dead as well.
Yes.
Dead as hell.
Ripperoni.
Mhm. The only other family member that isn't dead is my brother,
Brother.
and then I was dead.
Yes.
Yeah, he still probably thinks you're dead.
Big water.
Anyway, we all do split up, as you were saying, Kenny, and Petravian appears. Take it away, Kenny. Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, no worries. At this like beautiful little stone dais garden area, very pleasant, very
It's a
elegant.
lithogate. I
Little,
don't know if that was clear.
you
Oh, yeah,
did
yeah,
say
like-
it several
yeah.
times. Sorry, I always wanted
Really?
to call it a
Yeah.
druid circle.
Yeah, so it's like, standing stones, like kind of
Oh,
like
the-
Stonehenge.
Oh, you're talking about the Petra one?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought you were talking
Mhm.
about the shrine. I was like, oh, I could have dropped the chaos seed in there.
Oh
no. Petravian's mine garden was a lithogate.
Were
I like
these
that. My
standing
mind
stones-
garden.
Mm-hmm.
Were these standing stones covered in petroglyphs?
No.
No, we did a check for that, in fact.
I'll just
I
be in
actually
the corner
did.
with my bad pun.
It was beautiful.
We used to get
10 out
damaged
of
for
10.
that
No
shit.
notes.
That's
Yeah.
what I get for being, permissive of puns.
And I go around, try to look around, look in the water and call out, and then
Mhm.
some asshole shows up.
I mean, it was you.
Yeah,
Like,
some
literally,
asshole.
You showed up and started talking to yourself. And I think
Crazy
the
little
conversation
bitch.
started okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, had some talks about what you're doing here,
Mhm,
why you're planning this, and stuff like that. It seemed
Yeah,
reasonable.
honestly, had some good points in the beginning
Yeah.
there. Some
Yeah.
really solid points.
it's like, hey,
That I
this
think
is
I'm
all
gonna-
our fault.
Yeah. I mean, not technically wrong.
If we hadn't
Um,
have gone along with this stupid plan and you tried to join with the Maleferans, they would have
That's where
never
starts losing me.
they never would have resurrected Malifera, and then this bullshit would have never happened with the Deadlands. This
Mhm.
is all kind of Petravian's fault. If
Yeah.
that was his point, at least.
I mean, he's technically not wrong. Just, I think he went about it the wrong way. You stand up for what I believe. It's like all of these were great points, but cranked up too much. There was no nuance at all to it, and I really liked that because, essentially, you were arguing with yourself.
Are you gonna lie to yourself or sugarcoat
Exactly.
it? No, you're gonna be blunt.
Exactly.
I feel like that's how Petra would be, at least to himself.
Hmm. Yeah. But yeah, and then he just gets all rude.
That boy needs therapy.
We
There
all
was-
need
I don't-
therapy. We talking
True.
about?
Yes, so
And then he
much.
threatens to take over my body and go out.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the burn was, Beardy, that you had about Petravian's brother, but I remember all of us just gasping at just how cold it was. I loved it. Gonna have to go back
It was-
and find it.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit that one because I also don't remember.
Neither do
Uh,
I.
But I was
Yeah.
pretty happy with whatever it was.
Petravian was nasty to Petravian. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah.
And
was
then
rough.
to make matters even worse, you had to bring Chisel in. Poor
Okay. I didn't know
Chisel.
if we were I didn't know if we were gonna go around for do the roundabouts, but if we want to go all through Petra's shit, I will happily go through Petra's shit.
Should
Yes.
we do it? As complete segments.
I think
sense.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah,
So
'cause we in episode we went through a couple rotations, but yeah, we'll bang them out here.
yeah, I didn't know if it was gonna work. I didn't think it was gonna work. He saved my ass. I'm glad I did bring
Yeah,
him
right?
in.
If you didn't, you would have been just completely laid out when you got paralyzed.
Yeah, because that Archon's trumpet actually worked on you.
Yeah, I swear to God. I swear to God, this is not just in this campaign. In other campaigns I'm in, the narrative, the dice love the narrative.
Drama. They love drama.
Really do when I
Yeah.
roll, and it was perfect. And now, Petra doesn't know shit. Is Chisel all right? Is that all in my head? Yeah, he's because he locked horns with other Chisel, which apparently, I mean, I feel like shit. Okay, you get.
Were you surprised that your other self had chisel too?
I was surprised. Okay, it wasn't a consideration for me. So yes, it was a surprise, but it wasn't like, well, what the fuck, man? No, it was like, oh shit. Because obviously,
that to
Chisel's an
yourself.
intelligent creature. He probably has conflicting ideas, and I wasn't sure. The way Beardy was talking, I thought Chisel was gonna kick my ass off the side of the mountain into the
scene
void.
Came to my mind in that moment, Beardy, was the end of Return of the Jedi when Vader is looking back and forth between Luke and the Emperor and trying to figure out which one he's going to support. It was that image in my head, only it's Chisel sort of looking back and forth, figuring out, who am I going to align with? Who am I going to betray? I know you hate sci-fi, Kenny. I'm sorry, but that was the reference that was in my head.
I like normal Star Wars.
Do you? Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, Kenny likes the good Star Wars.
I like the good Star
Okay.
Wars.
My mistake.
I
Everyone
also
You
like
know,
except
Rogue
for Luke.
One in episodes 4, 5, and 6.
I've forgotten. I've seen you do a playthrough of KOTOR, so I'm losing my mind. I
I'm
can't
Kenny
believe-
Katarn!
Yes. I misinterpreted the look. My
I mean,
bad.
it very much helps that Star Wars is fantasy and not sci-fi.
Yeah, it's
Fair point.
it's just fantasy. It's just mostly fantasy.
Yeah, it's fantasy.
Magic.
Fair point.
It's fantasy
Yeah.
with some
It-
with a sci-fi veneer.
It's fantasy samurai with Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
with all the
it's more
leather
action
and the
around
high
movie than
boots and the
anything else.
marching.
And a Star Wars.
And a Nazi.
But yeah, the Petravian fighting himself and some really good quips back and forth, and I really enjoyed that, and I was able to. I don't know what I said, but then it was the last roll that got the double crit in there and ended the battle.
Yep.
And I was very. It's very cool to see somebody competent using my character.
Oh, screwy.
Are you okay?
Are you all right,
yeah.
buddy?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
fine.
okay.
No, it was interesting to see somebody who has way more experience in combat and strategy, utilizing what I have, and it gives me like,
I mean-
it's like looking at tapes.
I feel as though Archon's trumpet was a terrible choice in general and was super lucky and was probably Beardy trying to give you a bone actually, because each Petravian has like
had a
a certain
5%.
amount. Yeah.
Yeah, each Petravian had a 5% chance to fail that, so I figured it was a 95% chance to blow his turn.
Also, there's a difference between saying what you just said, Screwy, and implying that you're not competent in playing Petravian in combat, which is
I
Yeah,
mean, you would
it's
know
just
Petravian
characters.
best.
That's
Like
not
you,
true.
yeah, I don't know Petravian as well as you do. I don't know what spells he had ready. I don't know what I don't keep that stuff in the front of my brain. Like that's not super important information for me to hold on to. So like, I just pick up the character and look at what rough spells it has and throw something out. Like
The only
like,
thing.
yeah,
But
sure,
you
like,
but you also have
tactical
just
movement or
a
whatever,
deeper well of experience that you can draw from.
Sure,
Did-
but it's also it's
So-
not like a character that I built and customized over its life. Like this is a character that you built, so you know it better than I do.
Did Beardy do anything that you haven't done in the past? I've seen you go invisible immediately before.
Yeah, but I
That's
would.
the only thing that like
but
really started it. I feel like that gave
I
the other one
I
the advantage.
chose Archon's trumpet versus going invisible first, which looking back, yeah, go invisible first because it's a 15 round invisibility. So
That and he'd have
it's-
to nat 1 to actually get
Yeah,
affected
to
by
fail the
Archon's
Archon's trumpet.
trumpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love Archon's trumpet. I love Chains of Light. They're phenomenal when they work, and in narrative-wise, it has worked in the past.
No, you could always take
But-
some feats to make them stronger. You could get like different things to
Oh.
to up their DCs. You get
Really?
spell focus. If anybody ever picks spell focus as a feat,
I
fuck
have.
is
I have
that?
2.
you have spell focus.
I'm-
Really? Wow.
I might.
Okay, I didn't know anybody ever picked spell focus.
I definitely have the one where like it buffs up certain classes of magic.
Yeah, that's spell focus.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
2 different spell
Interesting.
focuses.
Nice. Very cool.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
I'm literally a glass cannon. I needed them, and then I also have points to put on top to make it even
yeah, you
worse.
get these runes, which we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, +1 to DC on that.
Increases DCs.
By just
With
plus
feet,
one
but-
though.
But realize,
Okay.
yeah, it's just +1. But realize there's a lot more important feats for a paladin to take than that.
Yeah.
Like you're not a caster, and you really shouldn't be focusing too much on your casting part of your class.
You know what great spells paladins have are P ones, like Zone of Truth,
Like Zone of Truth,
Calm
Grace is useful.
Emotions,
And you used Grace with good effect in that fight.
Speak with Dead is a particularly useful one, especially if you go to the place where they died to use it and have it prepped on that
Yes.
day.
Yep.
Also, if you ask the
Yeah,
right
that-
questions,
Yeah, Vera. If we
Yeah.
ask the questions that
that I
are
came up
of
with
the 3,
originally.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. Oh fuck.
With,
Fuck you, Vera.
What was it? What's his name? MacGuffin?
Yeah. with
Henry
Henry
MacGuffin.
Henry
Nope.
MacGuffin. And he was like, I
Yeah, I wouldn't
think
want
the
that.
question was like, I think you said like, can I ask you this question?
Do you know where
Yep.
the crystal is? Yes.
Yes.
Boom. It's like,
I
fuck.
wouldn't want that scene to go any different.
That was so
None.
perfect.
No
Absolute-
notes.
Like, no notes.
No fucking
Perfect.
notes.
It's like, oh yeah, Vera's got this. Vera's got this, guys.
Well, 'cause
Vera, what the fuck?
Vera literally went through what she was going to say, and they were all good, and then I just fuck it up.
So perfect.
Oh dear. Anyway.
But anyway,
so-
Chisel Dog.
Yeah, Petravian
Oh, yeah.
survives the encounter, but at great personal cost
Maybe.
to Chisel's child and Chisel's mate.
I
Maybe.
think this is
hope,
just
maybe.
mind chisel. Let's be honest.
Yeah, probably.
I hope.
Probably.
But Petravian still did get to experience the trauma of that. Kind of like when I experienced the trauma of getting eaten alive by insects.
Yeah. And isn't that at the end of the day what's most important about an RPG?
in D&D.
The trauma? Yeah.
Is experiencing the trauma.
Yep.
That's
Remembering
why we're all here
it.
after all. Yeah.
Oh. Oh dear.
So after Petravian delivers the killing blow to other Petravians,
Smack.
he kind of goes somewhere else, and we'll move on to a different person. So
Curla.
Kurla, like, you found yourself in an area that was like this series of interconnected, like, little stone platforms with little bridges between them, and there was just like this darkness beneath you and above you, like you were in some sort of giant underground area.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
right?
was-
That's weird. This is weird.
Says something about their general emotional state.
Yeah.
Poor Curler. My
Yeah.
poor traumatized half.
And then
I mean, you
Kurla-
did this
other-
to them.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh no, I love
then,
it.
Then like session 0, Kurla shows up and is like, "Fuck out of here."
Why are there all these bridges?
No, I really enjoyed that whole sequence, encountering who Curler had been up until very recently.
I think you made some excellent points, though. I will say that.
Thank you.
Like talking about how like it was other Kurla that allowed them to survive up to that point, but not to live. I think that's a wonderful distinction.
And oh shit, I'm gonna cry. Fuck. Oh dear. Sorry, give me a moment here, because that was coming from quite a real place for me, not
wrong
in
one.
terms of the specific trauma, but the idea of a version of self that kept one going to a certain point, but did so in a very toxic way that didn't allow them to connect with anyone else or to really live much or find much joy. And the idea of moving past that and then coming to terms with that self and letting that self go. There wasn't much acting involved in that, put it that way. That felt very real. So, and I can relate to that very, very strongly. So, yeah. It was a powerful scene for me for that reason, Beardy. Thank you for.
That's my pleasure.
I'm glad that you thought that the choices were appropriate, especially in terms of them not being willing to fight themselves.
Yeah, I mean that was the thing that I was most surprised about is that Kurla was just like, I'm not going to stand up to you, kind of thing.
They have spent so much time hating themselves and fighting themselves that coming face to face with that version of themselves that only knows how to do those things rather than trying to build bridges and connect and let go of all of that was, I think, a really cathartic moment for them. And yet there's also, they've had this self-destructive kick going for the entire season that they've struggled with. And so there is something really interesting to me in the fact that they let themselves be destroyed by themselves. They ultimately kind of gave into that self-destructive kick, if you want to look at it that way, while also overcoming and forgiving their earlier self. I don't know, there was just a lot going on in that
Yeah, and go ahead.
No, it was a moment that I think will it crystallizes a lot of the growth that they've gone through, and I'm really excited to see where they go from here as a result of that. What did other people think of that? I'm curious how it struck other people. If it struck you at all.
Well, I mean, I thought it coincided a lot with a lot of everyone's thoughts, just butting heads with our kind of past different self in a way. But I will say it was quite interesting that you decided not to do anything that harm your past self, which is obviously very different than what everyone else did.
I think in a way it was the most, I don't know, it was the only way I could have played it, and I didn't know what the consequences of that would have been. I mean, I didn't think that you were going to throw a reset button in there and have us demand that we play the character a certain way as a result. I didn't imagine that you would do that because I trust you as a DM. But it still would have been interesting even if I had needed to incorporate aspects of that earlier Kurla into performance going forward. I would have found that fascinating. If they had kind of needed to merge versus one winning out over the other. I don't know. It allowed for some really interesting exploration of who they've been and who they are now. And it kind of made me happy as well to realize that they have progressed, that I as a player have managed to make them progress through an arc. This being first RP experience and now 2 years under my belt doing it. I was just pleased to see that they're not who they were on day one, because that would be a sign that I've been doing something wrong.
I think it worked out very well. I wouldn't make anyone reset their character like that, but I think it's an interesting way to kind of see, to kind of track the arc of the character in a very clear way, to show off like where you started versus where your character is now and how they behave so much differently. So, I think it was fun.
It was interesting as well that that the saves didn't work, and I kind of like that they didn't. That this earlier version was so intractable, and that current curler wasn't able to get through to them.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you did play it as that it was this close to succeeding. I appreciated that too. It's like, had this person had the realizations earlier in their life, who could they have been? But they just weren't ready to hear these things or accept these things, and they hadn't had the right experiences or met the right people or connected with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Come to those realizations, and damn it, again, because this is hitting close to home with me for other reasons. Anyway, no, I appreciated those opportunities, and I'm glad that things worked out the way that they did, and Kurla died, except not really.
Yeah, kind of yes, kind of no, and as Kurla got hit by destruction, which is a frighteningly powerful spell.
Reese's and Pieces.
Seriously, but it works though thematically, because they're not, the curler who went in isn't going to come out the same curler. Like the curler goes in, and none of us who go in are going to come out the same from this experience, which is the whole point. So the destruction
Maybe
is
Riz.
Maybe Riz.
Maybe Riz.
I didn't know what I ruined. It's fine.
But the symbolic deaths and losses are impactful. But yes, from there, more violence was ensuing elsewhere.
Yay! Go Vera. Go Vera.
As we enter a scene from Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal.
Hell yeah.
Just blood,
like this
honey,
gore nest
everywhere. Gore.
Yeah, but just also less cool music, sadly.
I could
Sorry,
get a chainsaw out. It'd be like the same thing.
I think we can afford Mike Gordon.
We can afford Mick Gordon?
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, that's true. Like, he's not working with it anymore.
that's true.
Be like,
He's
hey,
a free agent.
He deserves better. So.
I want your chainsaw
Yeah.
music.
But no, yeah, we had the Vera battle where Vera and Vera yelled at each other
Mhm.
Yeah?
for a real long time. Like,
I'm right. Yeah, I'm right.
Like-
I'm right. I'm right. I'm right.
like the only thing that I can relate to for the other one is that Vera wishes that they could just be next to Melly protecting her.
Mhm.
But on the other hand, current Vera already set up the dominoes to protect Melly in this time. So she's like,
Illogical.
it's
Yeah.
my time to work to fix this, and they can handle that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we battled.
And you were
And-
so fucking close to dying.
Mhm.
That was a nail biting
It
fight.
was literally
It was.
whoever hit the most with flame strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing is
Whoever
that
saved better.
even if I had, because I had turned into a swarm prior to everything, and my plan was to use the Finger of Death. But even if I did that, Vera could have swarming retreated immediately and negated it instantly. I would have killed one bee and it would have done nothing.
Yeah. Would have done less than a hit point.
So it all came down to who could land the most flame strikes, or potentially put out some of the put out the swarms and then heal themselves.
Yeah.
So maybe if older Vera had put out the swarms and then used heal, I think I would have been in a worse situation. But I'm not sure. Either way, it came down to the last one.
Yeah, like if other Vera had, instead of casting Creeping Doom, had cast Flame Strike, I think that
I would've
fight
been
would have
dead.
been that fight would have been over differently. I think.
Well, but then if they did a flame strike immediately, I would have healed.
That's true.
So
So
who
it
fucking
was
knows?
close.
Yeah, it's scary.
It was a very close fight. It all came down to some saving throws.
Yep. It was fun.
Yeah, and I feel like the other Vera, was probably, of all these characters, other Vera and Vera were the most similar
Mhm.
as far as like their outlook on the world and what they felt needed to do differently.
Yeah, because in the end, their objective stays the same in that it's
Mhm.
ultimately Maleficent needs to survive. It's just
Right.
how to deal with that.
And other Vera was like, no, we our places beside them, our places with our family, not somewhere else, not
Mhm.
anywhere else. Like we have to be there.
Yeah, and also they don't have the trust that
Mhm.
Vera has towards this other smaller hive that she
Right.
has.
This second family.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I thought it was touching. I thought it was good, and it worked out absolutely perfectly. Very happy with it.
But then something else happened in another
Oh,
dream state.
Boy, it's
Yeah.
my turn. I loved the map that you got for me, by the way.
I was hoping you'd like that map.
It was definitely very me. I was like, this
Yeah.
is beautiful. I like my dreamscape. This
Yeah,
is great.
yeah.
I could live here.
Yeah, and it's like there was a neat stuff on there because it's like, oh, here's the coins, here's a treasure chest,
Some
there's a
wind,
clock.
maybe.
Yeah, there's some wind. There's a
There's
thing
not
representing
wind in
time.
space.
It's true.
You're a whore.
But yeah, past Riz, like other Riz, apparently had all their memories still
Yeah.
somehow.
But couldn't tell me.
Right. Couldn't really tell you anything,
Because
but was very frustrated.
it's because past Riz isn't a narc.
I don't know. I feel like they would have narked if they could, if it didn't risk them. They seemed very selfish.
Yeah, they were kind of a dick.
Isn't
I
Riz
mean,
kind
Riz-
of too?
Oh, Riz is a dick completely. Like,
Oh,
whatever.
absolutely. Yeah, much
Yeah, I
much
mean-
more of one though, and in a different kind of way, a less
Less
endearing way.
humanitarian.
Yes.
Well, just one that understands its place in the universe in a way that current Riz doesn't.
And that's fine. But Riz was like, you know what? We obviously have regulations about our curses. You obviously can't tell me. As much as you say you can fix this, who's to say you're not going to forget the minute you're out there? And then you're just mean to my friends and like this world who I want to save. So no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bye.
And I did like that the Riz/Riz fight was the shortest.
That's how Riz fights.
Oh, yeah, wonderful.
It was
must
all up
fight
to
to
whoever
win.
won initiative.
It's literally a standoff.
Yeah.
You literally have a gun.
Mhm.
Whenever you use that, I always think of our. We occasionally did battle royales between our characters. And at one point, when Petravian crashes through, like this, like cavern door, and you just vaporize him. Oh. That was it.
Such a good spell.
Wow.
And you pumped all of your runes into it to make
Yep.
it basically unresistible.
Yeah.
And to do, I think, 40 or 50 more damage
40
than
more
max
damage,
HP
I'm pretty sure.
than Riz has of max hit points.
Yeah.
So it's like, it would have taken either of you or old Riz down to like negative 35 or negative
Yeah, I
30.
wanted to make sure if it was going to die, I'd have to stay dead. It's fine. I'm fine.
Yeah. it was
I'm
good
sure
stuff.
they didn't have any important information.
I mean, they only knew like literally everything about your life.
It's
so,
fine.
yeah.
I'll figure it out once my curse is removed.
Exactly.
But like, there are more important things happening right now. I
There
am
was
so
the-
small in the matter of the worlds.
I cannot remember what the line was. There was one thing that sort of accidentally, on purpose, slipped out. That they were like, what, and I don't remember what it was, but there was one.
Oh, it was their
particular part.
name. They're like, you don't even
Oh,
remember
yeah.
your own name.
Yes, that was it. Thank you.
And Riz
because
is like, the
apparently-
gods gave me this name.
Yeah, and that's the other marvelous thing. This Riz who isn't Riz and remembers who they really are is not a fan of the gods. Very contemptuous towards Riz's family.
It's fine.
Totally
Yeah,
fine.
right? It's weird, right?
Oh dear.
Who knows?
You do. You do.
Oh shit, I do. Oh damn.
I mean,
Oh.
I hope you do. Otherwise, we're all in. You're doing a really good job faking it if you don't.
I mean, that's how you DM, right? You fake it till you make it.
We all
You
know.
just seem like it. And then every time it says, anytime someone goes, "Oh man, the way you linked this and this, it's so brilliant," I'm just like, yes,
I definitely
I
did that.
completely meant to do that.
Definitely.
Definitely, all of this was well planned in advance.
But we all know that Risen is Detlef, right?
Yes,
Oh, what a twist.
and they're
What a
both
twist.
Tyler Durden.
It's why only Riz. It's why only Riz can see Detlef.
What?
Who's Detlef?
Fuck you
Seriously,
guys.
who's that?
So,
Oh, the gaslighting is just.
we all appear in a together mindscape, and I'm not sure whose question this is, but were there or are there any consequences for one dying in the trial? If you can share that, Beardy.
No, I can't share
Wonderful.
Okay.
that. It's not over
Next
yet.
question.
I'm
Next
very
question,
curious to see
please.
if there's a consequence for throwing away my dagger, because now I kind of wish I'd thrown away the mellifluous one too, if there were. 'Cause that would be fascinating.
Excuse me. It's a nice gift over there.
So,
Your shiny
Exactly
knife
like
means jack shit to me, then you're.
Fucking give it back.
we
I'll give
enter
it back to you unsheathed.
a rocky mindscape with glowing bridges and make our way to this, what we all see as a tavern with the Emperor in it. And we all sit down at this table together and have a grand old chat.
He's
Yeah,
so
he's
chill.
such a chill dude.
I love the Emperor. I'm not going to lie. He's a really great guy.
I'm so sad we gotta kill him.
What?
What?
Oh, he's not the one we're going to be killing.
Oh, that's true.
So,
I mean,
uh,
not killing Zell.
We're just letting him kill himself.
Yes.
we're killing Zell.
We can talk him into killing himself. I'm not going to kill him, though.
We're killing Zell.
So, hear me out. How about you
Kill
kill
yourself.
yourself?
He's the kind to sacrifice himself for the greater good, but anyway, we'll get to
You're
that.
just going to AOL. Hey, Zell.
Kill yourself.
KYS.
Oh, God. That is twisted.
Tell you what.
So while we're waiting for whatever entity has true balance, we're just having a grand old chat, making turkeys dance. Kurla has an amazing mushroom soup that reminds them of their childhood and they cry more. I thought that was the crying one.
I liked that callback because they had rejected the mushroom soup the first time they got it when they first went back to Palayana. So I wanted to throw that in.
I didn't want to ruin the moment, but I definitely wanted Vera to be like, "Are you crying over a fucking mushroom soup?"
Yes, I
Be
am,
very
you
mean.
soulless piece of God shit.
It's literally soup.
It's like
I still
It's
hate
not that
mushrooms.
bad.
Like,
we've
wow.
reached the highest points of Zen, and you're crying over soup.
It's what the soup represents. Which is disgusting because I hate mushrooms, but Kurla likes mushrooms, so why not?
But also like that whole scene is representative in a way that is what you all saw it as, right? So the idea is that each person reaches Zen in a different way, right? And I feel like it makes sense for an adventuring party's Zen state to be a tavern.
When you
Mine
said a
would
tavern,
be
I
in the
honestly
Bardo.
thought it was going to end up being the Dead Man's Rest.
Yeah, I was thinking the Dead Man's Rust when you were first describing it.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw the table, I was terrified. We were back in with not Ish.
Grishnell.
No.
Wait, no. Glarv.
Glarv.
Sorry.
Yeah. It could look like the Glarv table.
It did look like Glarv's table a little bit. I was like, I
Did
feel
look a
like I've
little bit
seen
like
this
that.
map.
No, it wasn't that manner though.
Yeah. Different layout and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I first saw, I was
So-
like, "Fuck." We all wake up at the Telek house.
I mean, that's what's gonna happen. Is at the end of this whole campaign, like
Stop.
someone's gonna fuck up, and it's like, well, I gotta start
Stop.
over. Telecouse.
Not allowed. I will murder you. And then
All
there
of
will
one
be
again.
no stories. I take over. Only Adrian, Legends of Adrian forever. It doesn't go forward. We don't know how Snake Eyes ends.
It's only the legends because we don't know the rest of Adrian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
we hang out in this Zen mindscape, chatting with the Emperor and watching him turn Quicksilver into red wine, which was a nice moment.
Jesus.
And then this strangely dressed halfling appears, and in that moment, I honestly thought it was going to be Marcus. I honestly thought the strangely dressed halfling was going to be in a bathrobe.
I was waiting for it. I was like, this is either Zell or this is Marcus. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I knew because I control the camera, I see some details because they're not hidden to the camera, so I gotta like always focus on like trying to avoid those things from
I
the
appreciate
audience. It's a lot of effort. The other Petra got spoiled. Oh well. But I saw oddly dressed halfling and I was like, oh, it's Zell. Period. Like there is only one person I've ever heard as described as an oddly dressed halfling. And that might just be from my experience of one meeting him as Soul in that form, because he's like, oh, if we're gonna be playing pretend, which was adorable. And he also came to my wedding.
To be fair,
he's a good boy.
Yeah, I'm really sad right now because I was right, because I knew from Snake Eyes Zell had to die at some point to cause the catastrophe in the Merry Valley. But goddamn, I really like Zell. He was another father figure to Soul. I
Gotta
collect
kill 'em all.
father figures. I have
Gotta
a
kill 'em all.
problem.
Gotta kill every one of them.
Stop killing my daddies. Please, only kill real dad. Please.
There could be only one.
Please.
DM daddy, stop killing my daddies. That's just... What were we going to say, Xeno? You said to be fair.
oh
and
no,
then
to be fair, all halflings dress weird. So
that's fine.
That's true.
It was incredibly sweet and wholesome, though, that he entered this Zen state, so was at his most Zen and balanced when he was taking care of his horde of halflings, especially 2 new halflings, who had just apparently entered the Merry Valley and come under his care. 2 new halflings that we might know. Oh dear. A little one named Garben.
Yeah, I wonder who that is.
Wonder who that is.
Yeah.
It's definitely no one we've met.
And whoever would be traveling with young Garben.
Some
Two people.
Some tavern wench who
Yeah.
got paid off once like a common strumpet.
Have you found Eden yet?
God, imagine that's the first thing that Mark II says.
He only has so many catchphrases when you pull the string on his back.
Yeah.
Howdy.
What he'll say is, "Oh, I've been drinking you in all night."
Oh, it's awful.
Love you,
Beardy.
Screwy.
You okay?
oh, wonderful.
Wonderful
Beardy.
indeed.
But no, and Vera's just I knew it. I said it.
Vera did suggest it. Me as a player, I was like, it's Zell. It has to be. He dies at some point. This has to be it.
I am really hoping, all joking aside, I am hoping that we can convince him. That sounds wrong, actually. There's no good way of putting it. When the stakes are explained to him, I feel like he is the kind of person who would do the needs of the many outweighing the needs of the few or the one and sacrifice himself. I can't imagine that it would work, even him fulfilling his part of his part of the spell if he's not giving his life willingly.
Will it protect my halflings? Oh, yeah, definitely. Except not. Well,
The
I know
halflings are
what
about to
happened.
have a bad time.
They're about to have a real bad time.
Good.
But
They've had it
was
too good for
this-
too long.
It was this, or they were going to be like wiped out by the Deadlands.
It's true.
So, potato, potato. You know.
Potato, potato, tomato, tomato.
That's right.
But I'm looking forward to, because I'm fond of dragons, and I'm fond of sweet dragons, and he seems like a nice dragon. And Kurla's never met him before, and I'm as a
he's-
player so fucking stoked to get to meet him.
And he's the sweetest of all dragons. And if
Yay.
you guys succeed in your quest, he's gonna die.
Wonderful.
Makes me sad, but at the same time,
The only good
yay.
dragon's a dead dragon.
Fuck
So Barrett's
you.
very happy about this.
Oh, fuck you! Wow, you, damn.
We already got rid of Burr. Zell's next.
Could there be a
Burr's
Legends
just
of
missing,
of
that's
Adrian like mini campaign where Burr gets rescued, please?
I mean, he's not in this world, so it can't be a Legend of Adrian.
No, yeah, Burr's gonna show up somewhere else.
Oh, good. Okay.
Super
As long as
Smash
it's not like
Brothers.
hell.
Super Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
it. Got it. Guess it won.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
But
Well, that was episode 57, and the stakes are getting increasingly higher and higher. And yes, all of those threads are weaving together, whether you intended them to be weaved together on whether you're just improvising brilliantly. I think it's a little bit of both. Beardy.
Oh.
But you're kicking ass. It's getting really down to the wire and really fascinating how it's all turning out.
Yeah,
but
and
from
it's-
one...
So ahead. What?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that. Yeah, you're pretty much on it about it. It's mostly. These are things that I had planned to come together a while ago, and there are certain details and key things that I was able to toss in that made more sense at the time. Like, for example, I knew it was going to be Zell, but it wasn't until I prepped this particular session that I realized that the time frame matched up for the time it would take Garvin and his mom to make it to the Mary Valley. So it worked out that I could do their introduction at that same exact moment, and it would be an even more like gut punching revelation.
Oh, are they going to
That was
have to
the
die
idea.
too to save the world?
Say what?
Are they going to have to die too to save the world?
Maybe
Who?
not. We'll see.
Oh, well, Garvin and no, not Moira, the other one.
Telly?
Telly. But
Telly
no, they have to
Talbot.
survive, don't they?
I mean,
know.
I haven't seen them.
Good job, Xeno.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Thank you
from,
for letting me do that, Riken.
Any further thoughts on episode 57 and where we're going from here, or shall we jump back to another really nicely DM'd
Jump into the past?
installment?
Yeah, with a
Jump
much
in
better
line,
DM.
Rock your body in
Oh.
time. Okay, I believe you.
Mm-hmm. Much different session with a much better writing and a much better DM.
Grr.
I don't know if that's really the case. I kind of preferred your session over my Halloween session, but okay.
Bullshit.
No. No,
session
very
was
true,
better.
actually. I love the map you gave me. I felt so special.
I enjoy both your types of sessions in different ways. You
We're
both
we're
bring
different
styles to
DMs.
it. Yeah, and it's great. It's lovely to have that.
I feel like I've taken a lot of inspiration with how Beardy DMs, and I'm obviously
I'm
not the
sorry.
same person, so I can't like mix it in all the time. But like, you know, I've learned a lot from my master.
Oh my god. I'm gonna go get some cheese.
Oh my god. Well, I don't have
Keep thinking about them baby bells.
I don't have a lot to say since I'm the one who ran it. So, you guys go ahead.
For sure.
I mean,
It was awesome. So what made you choose Labyrinth?
Okay.
yes.
So originally, I wanted to do a story on John Carpenter's The Thing. Actually, Beardy
Ooh,
stood up.
Okay.
Which I thought was really exciting, but then I thought it was too close to the Shia LaBeouf session I ran last year when I was going through beats I wanted to do. So I decided that I was going to hold off from something like that for a little while so it didn't feel too same-ish each year and try to do something else. So I know Labyrinth isn't technically a Halloween movie, but it has this weird fantastical dress-up-y feel to it to begin with that I thought worked really well for a more like trick-or-treaty kind of sense of the story. So that's kind of why I ended up choosing the Labyrinth. And like just I was going through inspiration notes, like things that I think are fun stories and stuff like that for Halloween. And I was going through Reddit, which I never do. And I saw something that said like, ooh, like a goblin like attack or something for a Halloween one shot, and I was like, that's kind of lame. And then I stopped and I was like, Labyrinth. And I thought Yaculus was the perfect thing because we aren't really fully there in Snake Eyes yet of the released episodes, but Yaculus has a very close relationship with Razor, and they eventually have a little goblin clan of their own. And I thought it would be a really fun way to kind of be like, oh, what if Yaculus, instead of being his calm-minded like self all the time, kind of bent to Razor's whims more than he does already. This was, I try to do kind of what if scenarios with the specials, the holiday specials, I should say. So it was a very fun way for me to put these different characters in fun predicaments. So that's why I ended up choosing the Labyrinth. It fit thematically with characters from Snake Eyes, and I just thought it would be a fun, different kind of Halloween episode.
How did you anticipate we would all react to it being Labyrinth? 'Cause
So
I recall
I
you mentioning
knew-
to me a couple of times that I would enjoy it.
I knew you would like it because you talk about David Bowie all the time. I knew Xeno had never seen it, so that was going to become more troubling, but also easier, so I didn't have to have him rely on prior knowledge of Labyrinth stuff to, like, dictate his decisions. And I guessed mostly based on most people that they've probably seen the 80s classic, since most of you were born in the 80s, I think.
86.
Cool.
year.
It was guess. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't remember the 80s really.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
but, like,
first watched it in the 90s.
A
But
lot of people
Yeah.
saw it in the 90s when they were growing up and stuff. And I was relying on that information that you guys had probably seen it, and because of your personalities, probably at least liked it or looked at it fondly.
I was when the title card came up and I realized what it was that you had drawn on for inspiration for this episode. I was absolutely losing my shit. I was
actually watching the feed to see your reaction when that
Yeah.
popped up, because I knew you would have the biggest reaction to it.
I was so excited. Oh my god. Holy shit. Yes, it's Labyrinth that's happening. Oh my god, fucking Keni, I love you.
I was hoping for Beardy to also have it be a surprise, but because he helped me set up, like, Foundry and stuff, he did catch one thing that said the Goblin King, and he went, I know what you're doing!
Oh.
Well, I'm an idiot because I saw all the maps and I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I saw an NPC name. Like, and it's like, oh shit, I totally should have picked that up, because, like, there are matte paintings in Labyrinth and the Goblin Town looks like the Goblin Town, like, you put in there. Like, it all looks like from the Labyrinth, and I just didn't put 2 and 2 together because it's been a really long time since I've seen the movie. And
That's okay.
yeah.
I was kind of hoping for the best on stuff like that, of not knowing things.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting because I did give you, like, a small preview of the title card, which was just, like, Kurla, who was already fairly colored, and a hand that wasn't colored with long nails. And you were like, oh, it's Pringle. Pringle's the bad guy. And I was like, uh-huh, sure.
Well, I mean, it's like they're of the Snake Eyes characters, only 2 of them have nails like that, and it's Pringle or Yaculus, and I just assumed it'd be Pringle. Didn't think you'd make Yaculus the main villain. I'm pretty happy you did. It was a
Oh,
fun choice.
everyone gets a chance to be a villain, I'm sure.
Oh, Moose is gonna be scary. Just that kind of detached cruelty that only Moo can do.
Yeah, it's gonna be good when I
We're all just
Oh,
lab
I bet we could do
rats.
like a.
Yeesh.
Oh, I'll take it offline. I don't want to say this on. Let me DM it to you.
Okay.
In any case, so the framing of the story is we've just arrived in Shaganar, I believe it was.
Yes.
And the forgers hand over a familiar crystal ball into which we all get pulled, and we fall for a little while, and then we land outside the labyrinth in some, without our magic, of course, in some interesting costume changes. Keni, how did you decide how everyone was to be dressed? What were
So
your decisions there?
my decisions were based on character personalities with that one. So with Vera, her being the most tomboyish of the team, I wanted to put her in Sarah's normal outfit. Plus, I thought Vera's color scheme would match the best with that one, and it would make sense. And I feel like Xeno was okay with the output product.
No, I'd be down with anything.
Yeah.
I'd have been down with Vera in a dress because that'd have been funny.
I would have done Vera in a dress because it would have been funnier, but because you didn't know Labyrinth, I knew that it had to be Kurla because I felt as though it would matter more
Yeah,
to Foaly than it would to you.
post show.
So that's kind of why I. But you technically are in the same characters' outfits. There's
True.
just several outfits throughout the movie, which we'll
You
watch
made
at some point.
my heart just.
Kurla's choice on having the big puffy dress was to simply have the dichotomy of the secret softie who secretly likes cute, fluffy things and stuff like that actually get to wear something that's cute and fluffy. Which I feel like we're always on borderline, but we never get Kurla to have anything else other than this brown cloak that they wear all the time.
So far.
So that's kind of why I wanted to take it off of the norm for what Kurla would normally have. And
Thank
then when
you
it
for that.
came
It made me so
to
happy.
Levette, I thought Levette's personality matched the little fox squirrel man, guys.
Didymus?
Yeah, I can never say his name, so I always just.
Was that the dog?
It has also been a hot minute. I looked
Is-
through Spark Notes for Labyrinth info.
So I got into a discussion about this at work because I was telling my coworkers about the Labyrinth special, and I mentioned that character, and apparently he's a dog riding a dog, and that's kind of the.
I thought he was a
think.
squirrel fox thing.
He's a fox terrier, I think is what he's called.
Oh,
Huh.
Yeah.
dog riding a dog. Weird. Anyways, I found that his personality matched most with Levette's, plus with having like a really weird outfit that had very specific details. I was like, yes, perfect for Levette, who puts on all these odd details into their outfits.
Especially a hat with a jaunty feather.
Yes, the hat with the jaunty feather I felt fit best for Levette. And then for Petravian, I wasn't going to do Ludo, because obviously you guys met a different Ludo later on. But I wanted the expectations of what Hoggle did in the movie to be portrayed on someone who would not do what Hoggle did. But at the same time, he did something really shitty, so maybe not so far off.
We'll decide.
We will
teams
decide this. We will
later.
debate this later. But I mostly wanted to put you guys in the main characters' outfits and just to have fun. And obviously, Yaculus in a big black sparkly suit was very, very fun to draw.
Oh my god, Yaculus in a big black sparkly David Bowie suit.
I mean, for those who don't know, Yaculus was actually visually inspired by David Bowie when I was first designing him. I wanted him to have this mix of like femininity and masculinity that I always found that David Bowie kind of exuded. So actually Yaculus visually is based off of David Bowie slightly. So I thought it all interconnected really well.
Yeah. That's one of the many reasons why Yaculus is just the sexiest.
Plus, Yaculus could do his
Please.
own like fake contact juggling with his lower set of arms, and it would look like someone had their arms wrapped around him doing the others, but it would actually be.
It's
Whoa,
just
it's
his
gonna be
arms,
circular
yeah.
there.
He
Yeah,
has great dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Mhm. I'm sure Razor could attest to that.
So yeah, I chose Yaculus as the Goblin King because of context from Snake Eyes, where he does have his own goblin clan. And that's kind of where I went with him. I thought if I just kind of push the envelope of what if, it would be a good story.
What was the name of that clan? Do you remember?
Splinter? No, it was the Hangnail. No, yeah, it was the Hangnail clan.
It was the Hangnails, yeah.
Well, we encounter Yaculus. We encounter Pringle, who is sort of waiting for us, kind of. Sort of.
Lost in thought, kind of pacing throughout the maze.
And then we encounter, well, an unexpected figure who may or may not at that point to us be familiar. How many people twigged the strange dog creature as Pador first off and the bat, and then how many people kind of came to that realization later on as more hints were given?
I mean, I guessed it as soon as it was helping us, like after like the second teleport. That's because I remember I said, "Okay, so what bets are we taking on who this is?" And I'd guessed Pador because of the color of the hair, the one eye.
Yeah, the hints were there. It wasn't supposed to be super,
Sure, no.
obscure. And Beardy obviously knew just based on some stuff that happens in Snake Eyes that causes them to do this before. Just this one was
Now-
a little more extreme.
You let us look through your notes afterwards. But
Yeah, I
for
did.
the-
I did post those.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Mhm.
For the sake of the audience, what would have happened had, I don't know, Petravian, for instance, not been in his fluffy liking the animal mode and been more in his
It's
running
always a flip
and
of the dice with that one.
killing mode? Yeah.
That's right.
Um,
Vera's very easy to read.
So, if you guys would have killed Pador, you would not have had the key to get to the final room. And instead, you would have had to look throughout the Goblin Castle to find a different key to open it.
Well, we don't, thankfully. We don't
Yeah.
kill Pador, and we get led through the labyrinth in
Oh.
and out of all
Everyone's
sorts
just
of really
so crazy.
weird areas. A bloody great big wardrobe and a strange fountain that would have killed us had we got into it, or another one that would have poisoned. It's
Like,
some bizarre.
why did everybody start talking to the giant monster?
That is a good
sorry?
question.
Why did everyone start talking to the giant monster?
I was actually surprised how fast you guys talked to it.
What giant monster?
Pador.
Fedor.
Oh,
Oh,
because he didn't
I
attack
didn't.
us.
I was actually having a bit of technical issues at the time.
That's true.
Yeah, so did I. But in any case, we navigate the labyrinth a little bit, and some bad shit happens to good people. Bad shit happens to not good. I touched a hand I shouldn't have touched.
Oh, okay. Look, I didn't think anyone was going to touch the sculpture, so I just threw it into my guide. I was like, if anyone does this, does something bad.
I still don't know why I wanted to. I just felt like mixing things up a little bit. So it's like, okay, well, there's a hand. I'm going to reach out and touch the hand. It was a mistake.
It was a mistake, and I got to break your arm because of it. It was
You
a
got to
joy.
Crushing my arm was a joy, Kenny. Thank you.
Yes, because I didn't think anyone would touch it, so I was like, this is just a boring note for myself because everyone's going to be on high alert and not doing anything.
I'm glad. And we were all at, a third or maybe half of normal health after we hit the ground, and obviously no magic. So yeah, that hurt. I got to cradle a broken arm for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Ow!
I like that shit, though.
The cruelty. I actually loved it too. I was kind of pleased.
Yeah.
I like
and
that
it's-
we can be a little bit more like playful in the specials.
I mean, that's the point. I just want you guys to have fun while experiencing maybe something slightly terrifying and slightly just different than the norm, because obviously it's not in the restrictions of Adrian, so I can go a little bit crazier with it.
But I'm at least glad that Kurla wasn't the only one who was injured, especially given the little fight that we had later on. I'm very glad that Kurla wasn't the only one that was injured.
It's true.
Vera.
Yeah, I got my head stuck in a bee trap. A beehive trap.
You
Not
did.
trap.
Honestly, that wasn't planned at all. It's just because you had put so much interest into that beehive. I was like, it's not real.
How could I not have?
I anticipated you to put some interest into it. It's just that you kept doing it after I told you the bees didn't vibe. And I was like, all right,
I can teach these bees to vibe. It
I
doesn't matter.
will discipline you.
But
my.
but I absolutely adore it because I love strong characters getting some hubris or embarrassment. Just like being, I don't know, I enjoy that part in literature.
Yeah, just being like,
Hamartia.
I know what's best for
That's
this.
And then have to play it off.
Yeah, be like, I'm fine. Ow.
That's right, I lost my my braid.
Yeah, you were just going short for the rest of that session.
All I could think of in that moment was Mr. Bean with his head stuck in a turkey, which might be a reference none of you get. It's an English comedy thing.
I know Mr.
don't
Bean,
watch
but
Mr. Bean.
yeah, I never really vibed with. Much like how Vera could not vibe with the bees, I never vibed with Mr. Bean.
Agreed.
Which is entirely fair.
I did.
But
of
around
people
this
did.
time, as the beehive is stuck on a certain someone's head, we also hook up with, that comes out wrong in this crowd, we meet up with another member of the Snake Eyes crew because...
No.
Actually, not. No, Snake Eyes Season 2, I should say. My
Yeah.
apologies.
Which Kailani tried to explain to you guys multiple times. They were like,
And no
these
one
guys
quite
aren't my
got it.
friends. I just kind of know them when we go here.
In
Just
this
like you guys.
little hell.
This little
This
hell
hell.
that I'm dealing with right now.
I want to go for rice.
Hell
You want
is
to go for
other
a fucking
people.
rice?
So Kailani appears and helps guide us a little bit further on.
Not really.
Um,
It was Pringle
not really.
mostly led you guys.
Yes,
Pringle
apology.
wanted to grab Kailani so that you guys had backup.
It's around this time that Yaculus makes an interesting strategic move. In has he acquired Riz at this point?
He acquired them right away.
He acquired them right away, and at this point he offers the group a choice of how to proceed. He just needs people to bow to him and love him and worship
He
him.
never
and they
said
will be
bow
his-
or worship.
I know.
Like how
I'm
you
going
always-
off.
That,
I'm
those
going
are
off the labyrinth.
those are Razor's words, not
This is
Yaculus's
true.
words.
Yaculus was very adamant about being like, you just have to say you're going to follow everything I say, and nobody gets hurt.
Yeah,
Yaculus
I'm
is
just
very
thinking
adamant
of
in
the line-
sugarcoating it.
I'm just thinking of the line from the film. That's all.
But
Love
no.
me, worship me, and I shall be your slave. That whole thing. But yeah, he made the mistake
Not
of
the
threatening
same.
Riz, and that didn't sit well with Jiro.
Nope.
Did he threaten
No.
Riz in front of Jiro?
I mean, he
No.
offered Jiro the chance to kneel to him and get Riz back, and that I think. I mean, what? What am I getting wrong here? It's
The
been a couple of
kneeling!
weeks.
He's never asked you guys to do that!
Figuratively speaking.
Ah!
Beardy, speak to me about what Jiro was feeling in that moment, and whether that set him on the path of wanton destruction.
So
Followed on from that.
Jiro up to that point was not really sure exactly what was going on. Didn't really have a clear understanding of who the villain was, or where Riz was, or if Riz was in trouble or not. And after that was like, oh, I understand. Riz has been captured and is being held captive by this motherfucker. Okay, I just need to find them and kill them, and I am very good at that. So I'm going to do that now.
Do.
And very much put him on the path of like, okay, I have an enemy now. I have a target. I'm going to pursue that target, and that target is going to die. Because that is what Jiro is like. That's his thing. It's what he's best at. Is he gets a target and he kills that target. He is an assassin.
And
A decent one.
Who picks wonderful little flowers.
and when Yaculus told Vera to kneel before him, and Vera just said no. That's not how I go, bro.
No, we don't kneel to anybody. Like, I'm not gonna bow.
Why
to
do you keep telling us to kneel to you?
to bow and scrape before you? Is this some sort of god
Kenny,
king?
I am sorry that I am misremembering that detail. I apologize. It has been a couple of weeks.
I mean, the closest word he used was to submit to my will, but that's
I
it.
just
I'm
remember it.
sorry that in my head that's synonymous with kneeling. I apologize.
It's not, though.
I just remember it happening like 3 or 4 times during the session, and you're
Yeah.
like, he didn't say that.
It got to be a point where I'm like, why the fuck do you guys keep bringing up this specific verbiage that I never said?
I mean, it was a
I want-
simplification.
But I want you to understand that is a feeling that I get often.
I'm
So,
sorry.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry. Take it back. Please. I don't want to be a DM anymore.
But no, then eventually,
Spirits, I'm sorry. Give me a chance.
eventually we started
I understood
following
that
Pringle.
reference.
Yeah. I mean, you were following Pringle to get to Kailani to begin with,
True.
and then you started following Pringle out of there because she said she knew a shortcut to the castle.
And she was totally trustworthy. Nothing went wrong following Pringle. I was quite surprised that Pringle was on the level for once. And not leading us into any sort of trap and wasn't in the pay of the Goblin King. I wonder when Pringle
She's
knelt
not in
to
the
the
pay
Goblin
of the
King.
Goblin King.
She's busy kneeling to Yaculus.
Ah! We
I
will
mean,
get to it. We will
Who
get
wouldn't
to it.
kneel to Yaculus given the choice?
That's
He's
true.
an
I am-
interesting snake boy.
I can't do that to my own characters. It's weird and gross.
That's fair.
Like, I might design a character and be like, oh my god, look how hot he is, but I'm
What?
not like, I want to fuck him. That'd be weird because it's like really weird masturbation at that point.
What if I design a similar character and he's called Notulus?
That's postdoctoral level masturbation at that point. It's very impressive.
But I mean, like,
I'm in
isn't,
danger.
isn't the best kind of masturbation the really weird masturbation? Like, let's be honest here.
We may have moved slightly off script, I think. We may have wandered from the point.
Yeah, we may have meandered away.
Yeah, we got poisoned.
You
Yeah.
did.
So Pringle takes you to her little hovel
Fucking mushrooms
and
every
feeds
time.
you dinner. Hey, Curla likes them. Fuck you.
It makes Curla cry. We know this.
Cry, bitch.
It's a
It makes you look
nostalgic-
fatter.
Wow!
Have
Where
you
the
never heard
fuck-
me say that?
No!
That,
I
that
see.
is one
Kenny-
of Kenny's catchphrases.
It's
Yeah.
a
Holy
Kenny catchphrase.
shit, Kenny.
That's what me and my roommate, when I first went to college, was just something we came up with. Wherever we'd fake cry, the other person would say, "Cry, bitch, makes you look fatter." It was
Fair
great.
enough.
It makes people, like, for some reason, really shocked, even though we're laughing afterwards. We really liked shock, like, morbid humor. It was great.
It just makes me giggle that Curla is so emotionally moved by mushrooms when I fucking hate them and would never eat them with a gun to my head. It's one of these things that makes me smile.
I'm also
anyway.
emotionally moved by mushrooms because they will make me throw up, but I really want to eat them.
I'm gonna saute some mushrooms in the future.
Well,
We'll test them out.
Kyle, I keep getting sick from the pasta sauce that has mushrooms in it. I don't think I'm not allergic to mushrooms.
We're gonna figure this out.
Okay.
Don't worry.
It's like every time you've eaten mushrooms, you've gotten sick. I don't know what else we can do.
I don't know what else we can do.
Anyway, moving on from real life poisoning to in character poisoning. All of us except Petravian have some bad mushrooms
Yeah, bad shrooms.
and
it happens.
have a bit of an interesting trip.
I learned it from Moo, which is true. Pringle
I learned
learned
it from
all of this
watching
from
Moo.
Moo.
Watching Moo. Yeah, I was right there with you.
Thank you for that.
I learned it from watching Moo.
So I was really
good.
excited
That's good.
to have the ballroom scene because it was a completely skippable area had you guys chosen not to follow Pringle.
But it's such a famous scene.
So excited by it.
But it would have been skippable had you guys chosen not to follow Pringle, which I gave you a couple options. I'm like, do you still choose to follow Pringle? I just wanted to see what you guys would do.
I should have punched her in the
course.
face.
She was
Aw,
gone.
Pringle's a perfect little angel.
I love Pringle.
Demon, devil, one of the two. Can't remember.
Devil.
Oh my god, I got to
Devil
dance
child.
with David Bowie's Snake Goblin King and it made me so happy.
Oh, also, I'd like to bring up the bane of Kenny's existence, the bulge joke.
Oh yeah, that scene will live forever.
Bravo.
There, that's it.
Thanks,
it.
Xeno.
I mean,
There was a
that-
joke that I really was happy with.
separate
That's all.
credit for David Bowie and then David Bowie's crotch.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny's
It's
dying
legendary.
inside right now. I can feel it.
Legend.
I can just see it in their face.
The anger. Good. The hate is swelling in you now.
Do it.
Do it.
So you got to Curly got to dance with David Bowie or Yaculus, whatever works for you.
Had Vera not cut in,
Oops.
I was about 5 seconds away from kneeling to him.
Had Xeno listened to my comment about how everyone had like a haze put over them and had to fight it, that
Sorry.
also would have had delay.
Sorry, ADD, but you also didn't correct me, so.
Because I wanted the show to keep moving, and you already were like, I do this, and I was like, yeah, fuck it.
I would have
no,
said,
I
oh,
was-
oops.
He was very
Oopsie.
convincing.
All berries.
And Curla's not a fighter in the way that Jiro is. Curla cares about Riz in a different way, but in a quite a powerful way. And if they felt that was the best way to get to Riz and protect and help them, and try to save them, they would have totally knelt
Yeah.
to sexy David Bowie snake creature.
Anyone who agreed to Yaculus would have had to fight alongside Razor at the end.
I would have really enjoyed that too. That would have been interesting because I would have been slaughtered like that, but it might have changed the dynamics
It
completely.
would have been a very
So-
different dynamic, but
Yeah.
this is why I plan out different like options for people.
But someone intervened and then slapped me in the tit.
Tit slapping. Well, tit punching, technically.
Punch me in the tit. Sorry.
To be fair, it wasn't intentional.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to knock out Snake Boy.
Yeah, it was. It was for Yaculus, but Yaculus, of course, would have never been affected by that in the dreamscape that you guys had.
And then I also, after you hit Vera, I slapped your broken arm.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Great.
Only after the fact did I realize I should have aimed for your shoulder.
Oh,
that would good.
But that would have really gone to a nasty place.
Oh,
But Curler's
definitely.
not
But it
that
would have been fun.
Curler is not that nasty. Unlike some people, Curler doesn't go around punching people in the tit.
They go around
Maybe they
eating
should.
people.
Yes, and that's so much better. I might eat you, but I'm not going to punch you in the tit.
I don't know what is worse, but all right. We
I
will
think
see
it's
how these
fairer.
goes.
So,
I think it's
speaking of-
nicer.
Speaking of the Team Kurla, Team Duru dichotomy, there's also the Team Pringle, Team Petra dichotomy.
While
that we ended
everyone's
up
sleeping,
having.
Petra
When
gets
did
real
Duru
mad
get
at
that?
Pringle because he's like, everyone fell asleep. And Pringle's like, yeah, they're just sleeping. Go ahead and check their bodies. Their pulses are still fine. Everything's cool. And he's like, what deal did you make? And Pringle's like, I didn't. But it's
But by
fine.
this point, Petravian has Pringle by the throat.
Yeah. I got to relive my own personal trauma.
Oh no!
Yay!
Isn't that fun when the players put you in a position where you have to relive your trauma?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yay.
Because I was describing what it was like when I was choked in middle school. And I was like, all right, what did my body do when I was being choked? And I remember kicking, and I remember like clawing at the arm. And there was like no light or anything because I had like scrunched my face up to focus on my body. And then I went limp at some point. And then I was on the
That's-
ground.
That's awful. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Thanks, Screwy.
Needless to say, I'm Team Petra.
Okay. Wait, before we go this way. I, as the DM, am curious what your guys' interpretations on the characters' justifications for their actions. And let me know if you would like me to go into anything, at least for Pringle's side. I, of course, cannot speak for Petravian because that is Screwy's character.
Like, for me, I would have preferred if Betravian had punched Pringle, because
Yeah.
there's instant justice.
Oh, Pringle
Yeah.
would have been far more fine with a punch because it would have been like, yeah, I deserve that.
Because obviously choking is far and beyond what happened. But on the other hand, if I saw a Reddit video that was titled "Person chokes out person who poisoned friends," I'd been like, yeah, they deserve that.
What the fuck, Kyle?
I think Petravian went a little bit overboard. I could see where he was coming from, but I could also see where Pringle was coming from, and I think that communication broke down very quickly in that situation, and if they had just sat down and talked calmly,
Honestly,
Kurla
Pringle
could
was
have come by
trying
and
to
eaten them.
speak calmly to Petravian.
I know, I get that.
I'm just gonna put forth the notion that Pringle tried to be very chill as a lawful evil character.
Surprisingly chill, all things considered.
Yeah, out of all the things she did, this was pretty pebbles, just pebbles.
That's
what she
Petra.
did.
Petravian was not impressed by Pringle's actions or their explanations.
And Beardy.
Team Pringle, no further questions.
Are you just like doing a tie, Foaly, by the way?
Yeah, what?
I'm
Which
sorry.
hashtag are you using?
Yeah, hashtag Team Pringle or hashtag Team Petra.
Oh, I mean, if I have to go one way or the other, I'm sorry, screwy. It's going to be Team Pringle.
And I'm pretty sure, based on how Grem was telling me about stuff, he's also Team Pringle. So fuck
So-
you guys.
So 3-2.
They were
3 to
both
2. Team
in
Pringle
the
carries
wrong.
day.
It's just Pringle was maybe less in the wrong in that situation. It's like lesser of two evils in that situation. I don't know. But yeah, Team Pringle, I have to say.
Mine is just, I feel like the anger was justified. It's like, oh, yeah, that was a pretty shitty thing.
You
So
probably shouldn't choke out people right away when they're trying to explain like what's going on. I also find it very fascinating that Petravian's like, I think you do know what happened to Pador, and Pringle's like, I literally don't. And he never insight checks this, but they didn't.
Or
She
a
didn't
zone of
know,
truth, for
Screwy.
that matter. But we escape the dream, or we wake from it, and
Which, if I recall, if we had all woken, if we had all eaten, Kailani would have been beating up Pringle.
Kailani would have fought Pringle had you all eaten the mushrooms.
that would have been fun to see.
Hashtag Team Kailani.
Yeah, gotta support the other Oracle on this. But we make our way to the Goblin City and discover that the goblins are not quite the sort of the big bad, evil, hulking enemies that we might expect. Oh my God, Kenny, master stroke.
If I can ask one thing of anyone in chat to watch something, please fucking watch the Goblin section of the Halloween episode. It's
I'm gonna go
so
back and watch
good.
it again in a minute. It was fucking amazing.
Intruder!
Good. You go ahead.
Of all the combats that I've ever been in part of, opening a combat with throwing a pickaxe is one of the best starter moves of any fight. It's like pickaxe. It's not the kind of thing you would throw normally.
Was that a nat 20 on that? I don't remember, but it was high enough for him to like.
good.
It was
hit
a
in,
really
like,
good
dead
roll. Not that you
center.
really did have to roll that high to hurt the goblins, the regular goblins.
But I wanted to.
Yeah, I know. You got brain goo all over your pickaxe.
Actually, technically, Vera just wanted it to knock them out, but Vera's very strong.
And those goblins are very, very weak.
Very squishy. Fantastic in stew.
What?
What?
I felt
The
terrible.
smaller and
beating them
cuter, the
up.
better.
I couldn't bring myself to kill any of them. I mean, Kurilla wouldn't anyway. They're living creatures, but it's not. Run away, please
Run away.
Save yourselves. For God's sake. Do you not see what's happening to your brothers and sisters? Just run. Run, for fuck's sake. How many
And
did
then,
we
like,
end up
after-
killing? Scores.
After we fight like the strong one, like there's a stronger one, we fight it, we kill it after like trying to tell it like, no, you don't understand, like we're going to bulldoze you. You have no chance here. We kill that one too. And then like there's one last one before the entrance to the castle, and it's like the smallest, cutest, most adorable one yet.
Hi, I'm Gabu.
Just pick it up, throw it into some spikes.
Art is my passion.
That's right. Oh my god. Yeah, Gabu made all the art. Oh no. Oh, it skyrocketed in value.
The one that Jiro threw off the bridge, I honestly thought you were going to kick, like just punt off the bridge. But there was that. There was smushing both, like picking up, smashing them against the walls with the sound of
Oh yeah.
lettuce
Oh.
being
Castle.
shredded.
That was
was it?
Petravian, yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, the methods of destruction of these poor innocent little goblins just got so creative. It was quite
You know,
impressive.
Now I'm not sure if I made the right move, whether it was to pick it up and do the overhand, like two-handed chuck, or if it would have been to just do a punt off the side.
I
don't know
think the
which would
Lion
have been
King
funnier.
overhand throw was a good call.
Yeah, you killed a lot of goblins.
Art is my passion.
Good times, great America.
Oh.
We have fun here.
By that,
That was my whole goal, like for you guys to be like, "Oh my God, there's so many enemies," and then it's just like, "They're nothing. They're nothing to you."
yeah.
It was
But
glorious.
by the time we got to that point in the session, I think Jiro was getting a little bit bloodlusted.
A
Like,
little
okay, like I'm here to save Riz. Nothing is going to get in my way. Anyone that slows me down, I'm going to kill. And yeah, it's not great.
He lived up to that, and I mean, things got a little bit more serious when we actually entered the castle, and Hador gave us the key, and we made it into the room where a knife was held to Riz's throat. And
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
Yaculus and Razor were sitting in their thrones.
Yes, so they were.
Yeah,
So
Riz
set
was
the
in
scene
just
for
a
us,
bloody
Kenny.
pulp in the corner.
Yeah.
Yes. Ooh, mistake.
How badly hurt does Risen look? I don't know. They look like they have about 10 HP.
Wow, that's an accurate description. How
Yeah.
do you do it?
by subtracting it on their character sheet.
But no, I forget what happened. I believe Jiro threatened Yaculus as soon as Razor came up, saying, "I'm gonna show you what you're doing to me," or something like that. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, he did egg Razor down into the area, which Yaculus was like, "Don't do that, Razor." And Razor, based on my interactions with her, would never not do that because she's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. Takes on the one-on-one challenge, and I'm like, well, you just made a mistake.
Of course.
You just got into.
But it's
You
Razor.
just got into full.
It's
Yeah, it's like you just got into
Razor.
full attack range. That's not great.
I knew completely what was happening from a tactical standpoint, but I didn't think Razor would, like, choose not to be face-to-face with someone when they're like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, Razor's incredibly egotistical about her own strength and her own abilities. So like she would never deny a direct challenge.
Yeah.
As far as like
She was level 20 in this instance, though, so had she gotten a hit in, it would have been bad news.
yeah, but
before the shit hit the fan, there we got a clearer sense of exactly why Riz had been taken and why Yaculus was having the shit beaten out of them, which is that.
Oh, that
these
wasn't
Snake Eyes-
Yaculus who had Riz beat up.
That was Razor.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, okay. I'm misremembering. It's been a couple of weeks.
It's okay. It's a lot of subtext stuff, but Yaculus has been just trying to reel Razor in mostly in this time
Okay.
period.
So
Which is bad
Razor is the one who is convinced that Riz is the one responsible for the crystal balls and all these misadventures that happen in the holiday specials where the Snake Eyes crew gets sucked in and they had been stuck in this world since the last escapade.
At least some of them.
At least some of them. And were desperate to escape. Hence Riz. And Riz denying any knowledge of this, since how could Riz know if they were responsible for it or not?
Mm-hmm.
Which is tragic, because... Yeah. But anyway, Jiro slices Razor to shreds with his wakizashi, I believe.
After Vera gets Yaculus away from Riz.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah. Vera
luckily
saved the day there.
we took a chance and tried to run in between.
Yeah, had
two.
your CMB failed, I would have had Yaculus slit Rizen's throat.
Oof.
With none of us with healing abilities?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah, Jiro would
It's
not have been
Halloween
happy about
special.
Fair enough. But yeah.
That would have taken a
because
dark turn.
Jiro would have would Jiro have
Happy
left anyone in the
Halloween.
room standing? Like friend or foe alike?
Honestly, if that had happened, Jiro probably would have picked up Riz's body, walked back out of the keep, and then just like jumped off the bridge together into the
Very
spikes.
Romeo Juliet.
Here be thy sheath. But it didn't go down that way, thankfully.
dark.
Because Vera, got in that brilliant combat maneuver, got themselves in between Riz and whoever had the knife on them at that
It was
point.
Yaculus then.
It was Yaculus who had
because
the
he
knife.
won initiative, so he after Jiro threatened to hurt Razor was like, he's technically a pacifist, so he's like, no, none of that, please.
Yeah, kind of a one-shot from Jiro. Or a 4-shot. I'm not sure how many attacks you got.
So many 20s,
So many dice.
so many 20s. You ate so much candy after that.
I did. I finished the bag. It was great.
Oh my lord.
Jiro gets, I believe, 6 attacks
Yeah, he's
around
overpowered.
with a full attack.
Jesus.
And then I believe 3 of those crit. And they all had sneak attack damage. So it did a extraordinary amount of damage.
Just sliced poor Razor to smithereens, or smithereens.
I legitimately feel bad about it too.
to ribbons.
I know. Beardy keeps telling me all the time. He's like, I can't believe I killed Razor, and
Like
he
looking back, I should have been like, why did I just declare it non-lethal? Like I could have just declared the attack non-lethal, and
You would've won
we
still.
could have had like a much happier ending.
But would Jiro have
It's
spared Razor at that point?
No.
Would that have been true to the
I mean,
character?
this is me wanting Razor to live, not Jiro.
It's just one version of Razor.
it's just one
Yes.
version of Razor.
It's just
Yeah.
It's the
It's probably not even the true
pseudo-canonical.
razor.
That's a Gillette Mark V. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Terrible.
Also, at
Terrible
one
joke.
point, Jiro actually spoke,
Yes.
Yes.
which was really cool.
Yeah, he gave the signal to attack. By speaking.
Damn,
Which was
son.
a hell of a moment.
It
Yeah,
was a
right?
very good moment. But you guys killed Razor, and of course, the Oculus, being the pacifist that he is, just throws down his swords and is like, "It's done."
Poor Oculus.
I mean, he's sad as his partner just died, but at the same time, there's probably some form of relief of like, "Oh, thank God, I don't have to like hurt people anymore."
At least Razor is at peace now, or at least in peace.
No, she's definitely not in peace. That bitch will keep fighting in her deathbed.
Along with all of the other throne goblins.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just
So
whatever. Echidna's fucking hell has just really got blasted recently.
Yeah, just an influx of dead goblins, and then Razor shows up and just starts rage fighting everything down there.
That
The
sounds
kid is
about
just
right.
like, fuck, I have better things to do than deal with you.
But with one last try, you all put your hands with the power of magic and friendship or whatever. You activate the little orb, the magic orb that's in all of these, to go back home. And before you guys leave, Pringle looks at Petravian and says, "I'll never forget this."
Oh,
Which
dear.
I'm excited to see where this leads.
Yeah.
Because first of all, obviously none of us got to see. Did we see Pringle when we woke up? I can't remember. Pringle left before we all woke up, right?
Yeah, because Petravian scared her off.
Yeah,
pretty
because
much.
we weren't able to be like, yo, that was fucked up.
Yeah. And she probably would have apologized too. She was just like, "Yeah, I just needed to stop you guys for a little bit. This is my friend." They would have explained the same situation they tried to with Petravian.
I'm sure that would have worked out well with Jiro.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Don't know. She could have died.
I'm really glad I didn't have to kill Pringle, too.
I know, because you love Pringles so much.
I do. It's a great character.
Thank you. I did get to put in a fun detail about how it looks from the outside of Pringle talking to herself, which was very fun.
Hmm.
So overall, Kenny. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I
just gonna
still
say
think it's
overall
funny that Petravian still thought that Yaculus was the one that did that to Pador after multiple times being told no, but it's fine.
Because villain does bad thing.
It's only
Of course.
black and white, no gray.
But that's many paladins.
Villain does bad thing.
So overall,
fine.
were you satisfied with the way the episode went, Kenny?
Yeah, very much so. And
Good.
I just wanted you guys to have fun, really.
It was a tremendous amount of fun. It was
And I'm excited for the next one. So,
likewise Christmas special coming up. Oh my
Heck
God,
yeah.
Christmas special's coming up. Holy shit, the
Yeah.
year's nearly over. Oh
Yep.
God, no, why?
Any
Oh God,
hints?
no. Right, excuse me. I'm just not dealing with that.
Christmas.
Oh God.
Okay.
It does
Christmas.
involve Christmas.
I'm down for that.
Christmas time.
No,
is
no,
here.
no. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much
Happiness
for rolling with
and
us. We'll see you next
cheer.
week for
Thank
Check
you, everyone.
Please.
See you next week.
Bye.
Take care.